Is Halloween Ends the only movie that has the effect that Halloween Ends has? Is there another movie that, and I've seen this firsthand, that literally makes people that hate the movie, like that movie makes them so angry that people like it? And I was really having a conversation with myself the other day, and I was thinking, is there another movie? I guess in horror, because maybe Star Wars Last Jedi.
The Last Jedi. That was going to be my answer. The Last Jedi is the other movie that first comes to mind for me. It wasn't as bad with a movie like Kingdom of the Crystal Skull, but that movie definitely was one of those movies that, indie fans were really.
How dare you like this movie?
Yeah. But no, when it comes to horror, I mean, just sitting here thinking like off the top of my head, I guess you could make arguments here and there for Seed of Chucky, especially in recent years. People are they either love that movie or they hate that movie. I'm someone that hates it, and I'm unashamed to say. But like, no, in the major franchises, I do not believe there is as controversial a movie as Halloween Ends. I truly, truly don't. And it's like, at least you can make the argument in like Hellraiser where like everybody fucking hates Revelations. Well, yeah, because it's a piece of shit. Like it's not even a movie. But like Halloween Ends
is a well shot movie.
Yeah, this is a professional movie with big name actors and money behind it, and it's taking itself seriously. I'd argue even more seriously than 2018 or Kills. And it's just, man. There's something about this movie. You mention it, and it's like, oh shit. Oh no! Like
I've lost more subscribers to Halloween Ends than anything else.
It's the only time I got death threats on YouTube. Only time I got death threats on YouTube was Halloween Ends, and like I don't care, but like I was shocked to see the comments I was getting the night I put up my review, and because the movie was so controversial, you do a review that night, like I did, like I do with every movie I go see, and then you just go to your analytics and you're like, oh my god. This video is exploding. And then you're like looking at the comments and you're like, oh my God. Like it was bad. But yeah, I don't think there is one.
Yeah, they will call you an idiot. They'll call you names.
You're not a true fan. You're not a true fan.
You're not a true fan. There's something wrong with you. And I constantly get this one with every movie I review. This dude likes Halloween Ends. I can't take him seriously. Every movie. I get it in almost every freaking video. And it's
become it's so political, right? It's like it's almost as bad, maybe even worse than saying like laying out all your political beliefs on YouTube.
It is.
It's like because people treat it that way. They'll just go right back to that thing. Well, you think Halloween Ends is good, so you're out of here. And it's like, I mean, I walked out of the movie. I watched it opening night on IMAX, and like my wife and I both walked out, and I was like, "What'd you think?" And she was like, "That was really good." And I was like, "Yeah,
that's the weird thing.
That might be my favorite out of the whole trilogy."
Dude,
like it
blew
my mind.
Theater watching Halloween Ends, and when I walked out of that theater, everybody around me is like, "Whoa, that was fucking awesome!" Everybody was freaking out. They loved it. It was like so unique and fresh, and so I was like, oh, okay. I think everybody's going to be like me and they're going to like this movie. And it's not going to be like controversial or anything.
Yeah.
And as soon as I walked out of the theater and opened my phone like just went.
And there were two things I wanted to say about that specific thing too, Lee. And I'm sure you've heard this on YouTube because I know I have. One, I will say that Halloween Ends, I walked out of the theater having the feeling I was hoping to have with 18. I was so excited for 18. And when I walked out of that movie, the hype was so high that I was bound to be a little let down. There's no way it could have reached that. And I think because Halloween 2018 did that, Ends, I went in a little more lukewarm. Like, I hope it's okay. I hope it's pretty good. And it blew me away. So it took 3 movies to get there, David Gordon Green, but you gave me the feeling I wanted since Rob Zombie's Halloween 2. But the thing I was going to say about the YouTube and the reaction to it, I've been accused sometimes like, you just want to be a contrarian. Are you kidding me? Do you think that anybody is like, I want to love the shit that everybody hates, so all you guys do all day is talk shit to me? Like, no. Also, I saw Halloween Ends. I was going into my theater, and I saw Lee's tweet, and I'll never forget it. jack-o'-lantern emoji, thumbs up emoji. That was it. That's all
That's
he
all I
said.
needed.
He had just gotten out of it, and I was like, Lee and we agree a lot. I was like, I think I'm cautiously optimistic, but I went into the earliest show I could. So like, I didn't know the reaction yet. And it was as the night unfolded, as people were getting out of showtimes, that the comments were blowing up on my review. And it was like, do you think I walked out and I was like, oh, let's see. Does everybody hate it? Cool. I love this thing. No, I just recorded my review. Yeah. And people are just, it's wild. But you get that a lot too. You'll get that. You're just trying to be
You know what? I just had a thought, and this is recent, and it's too early to tell, but I think we might see this reaction with the new Crow, because I'm already seeing a little bit of it. And I didn't even like give the movie a glowing review. I gave it pretty much a middling 3 out of 5. And I already have people in my comments, this dude's stupid. That movie should not be, it shouldn't exist. And that's because, of course, Brandon Lee passed away. So we can't have this movie. But
then you can't make anything ever again.
Yeah, The Crow is tied with Halloween as my 2 favorite movies of all time. So I mean, I'm just a movie fan. I love the franchise, and I'm going to call any movie like I see it. And if a movie has value, I'm going to tell you if it has value. I'm not going to go into The Crow thinking, arms up like this, I refuse to enjoy it. It just doesn't work that way for me. These are hardworking people behind the scenes that put all their blood, sweat, and tears into making this movie. And it's a gorgeous looking movie, and it does have some merit. And to be frank, I thought I was going to hate the movie based on the trailer. I thought the trailer looked like trash. The movie I was like, there's some things in this movie, especially as it goes along. I'm like, damn. All right. They went hard on some of this stuff, and I'm not going to spoil anything, obviously, but neither of you have seen The Crow yet, the new one, right?
No, I haven't seen it yet.
I'd have been there last night if I didn't have my kids, and then I get him tomorrow.
Nick's going to like it. Me and Nick, we're wired the same. I guarantee you're going to like it.
I know I'm going to like it. I'm a big Bill Skarsgard fan. Although I heard it's not in the movie, which kind of pisses me off, but I love the twist they did with Post Malone's Take What You Want for the trailer. I don't know what it want, but it kind of pumped me up. I was like, this looks sick. And also, I know this is blasphemous. I've never been a huge fan of the original. It's solid. I like The Crow. Don't get me wrong, but it's not a movie where I'm like, I have so much reverence for it, where I'm like, you cannot touch it.
Yeah. I'm right there.
If Jaws got remade or The Exorcist got remade, I'd be like, fuck no. Why are you doing this? Don't touch that. But I'm not that way with The Crow. So I'm like, you know what? This looks like it's just going to be a revenge action movie with a lot of gore, a lot of action. As long as Bill Skarsgård can deliver, I feel like it's not a waste of time. That's just kind of where I'm at.
Yeah, and I think if you're not hardcore on The Crow, then that's even better. But for me, the original Crow, I think it has to do with my age. That soundtrack is it is my all-time favorite rock soundtrack.
That's what's up. That's what's up right there. Yeah, it's amazing.
And then even before the movie came out, I really got kind of obsessed with Brandon Lee's death. And that's a bad word to use, but it hit me when he died. I'd just seen Rapid Fire. Rapid Fire had been in the theater at the time, 1993. And almost right after I saw Rapid Fire in the paper, USA Today, actor killed on set of movie The Crow. That name, The Crow, first time I'd ever heard the name, I was like, there's something about that name just sounds so interesting. And then this guy died and it's about a guy who comes back from the dead. So already I was in before I saw, and then when I saw the movie, I was just like, it was so immersive in the theater, and I was just blown away by it.
I got a question for you, Lee, because somebody had said this in the chat, and I wanted to just address it really quick. But I want to say too, the same soundstage that they used to film where the soundstage that Brandon Lee died on. It's there's 6 or 7 houses in that lot. That same lot is where they recreated the Myers house for Halloween Kills. It's in Wilmington, North Carolina. It's the same lot. It was a different stage, but same lot. So when I went to do the filming locations for Kills, they have the buildings numbered. I think it was Studio 6 or whatever, where Brandon Lee died. And I was looking at it. I was like, that's kind of wild that's where that happened. It's just weird. But Also, somebody said, and I read this, correct me if I'm wrong, Lee, they don't call him Eric Draven in this new movie. They only call him Eric. Correct?
Yeah, you never hear the word Draven, I don't think.
Yeah.
Like why? Then why do it, right? Then it like
call him Eric
if
D.
he's not Eric Draven, then call him something. Don't even call him Eric. Like just
two things non-spoiler about. There's some misconceptions because when that photo came out, first thing everybody's going to compare it to Jared Leto's Joker, but also people automatically. They automatically thought they're going to have this type of music in the movie. And I don't even know what the type of music you would call it, but it's Gen Z type music. And that's what everybody thought was going to be in the movie. And I can tell you right now, the music fits right along with the music that you get in the first 3 movies, which is really cool. So I'm going to buy the soundtrack of it. And it has a Joy Division song, but it also has a lot of dark new wave type music in it. And that was a nice freaking bonus. I was like, they like the stuff that's in the first 3 movies, but I like that this isn't a movie like Alien Romulus, which I love, that is just kind of a love letter to the first movie. This is its own thing. They don't even like really mention, outside of the names Eric and Shelley, there's not even, I kind of wish there would have been a little bit of a Brandon Lee nod, but nothing. So in a way, it's kind of nice because they were probably like, I don't want to touch sacred ground. So let's just go over here and do our own thing and tell our own story.
Yeah, I have full belief that that's what they did, that they knew that this was going to be controversial because of the circumstances with Brandon Lee with the original film. So I think that they were like, let's not really do that. But I read from a lot of people, and don't worry, guys, I promise we'll get back on Halloween too. I read from a lot of people.
What movie?
Yeah,
welcome to DDLive.
I know that this.
I'm just happy to be here.
Yeah, same.
Yeah, me too. I'm happy
it's more like it takes the bones, I guess, of like Eric and Shelley and the Crow, the lore there, but it goes in a totally different. Things don't unfold the way they do in the original film. It's almost like an alternate universe journey for the characters Eric and Shelley. That's what I've read, is that you're not really going to find a ton of comparisons between this film and the original film. And also I heard that the promo that they showed for Bill Skarsgard doesn't really do him justice, that it actually comes across better in the movie. Would you say that, Lee?
I say that in the review. Context is everything with this movie. And when you go into this movie, it's very immersive. And again, it's got some problems, but I can't get it out of my head. In most movies, they're like cheeseburgers with me. I walk out of the theater, I either like them or I don't, and then I move on to the next thing. And maybe it's a little bit because I'm a Crow fan, but there are things in this movie that are still there. Like, man, I'm dying to see it again. So it could go up in my rating and I think that's going to happen with some people too. I think one thing I like about this movie is that you're not thinking of the original movie, and I think that's kind of a cool thing, like when you go back and watch the original movie, you're not going to be like, yeah, this is so cool, and see, they tried to copy that, but they failed because this movie's fucking badass. No, it's 2 completely different experiences, which I think that's kind of a bonus. But Bill Skarsgård I think he's awesome in the movie. He's the best part for sure. What's up, guys? You are at the end of the DDLive clip. What I do is I like to clip these out if I think the topic is important or something that's newsworthy. So thank you for watching, and if you want to watch more, you can go over here, you can go over here, click on one of those, and hopefully I can do this for 20 seconds, which I think I did. Okay, so yeah, thanks for watching, guys.